So while designing the test cases, you will use these testing techniques. You will use the testing techniques. Different testing techniques you will follow while writing the test cases. So let's see what are the different testing techniques we have. So here, if you see here, we have a static testing technique and dynamic testing technique. Static testing technique and dynamic testing technique. Two types of testing techniques. Again, under that, we have so many types are available. Static testing technique means just meaning itself telling static. That means it doesn't change, right? Static means without executing the software code. You just do the verifications, some document checkup, all that is called static testing technique. So how you can do static testing technique is using walkthroughs, inspections, and reviews. Using walkthroughs, inspections, and reviews, you will do the static testing techniques. And you know what is walkthrough means. Walkthrough means just talk to the any person. You need some information from that person. He will share that. Just this walkthrough is just information purpose. You will just share some information with now some person will share the information with you, whatever you required. Basically, code walkthrough or functionality walkthrough, requirements walkthrough. That is the walkthrough examples. Reviews means, as I mentioned already, you will prepare the test cases, and then once the test cases are designed, you need to review them. How can you review them? So using some checklist will be there, and the requirements is the base for the test case review, because you are writing test case based on the review requirements only, like user stories or requirements. From the requirements, so you are drawing all the test cases, different test cases, positive, negative test cases. So those test cases, whether you covered or not, it will be reviewed by your product owner or development team member. Okay, so that's reviews. Reviews can be any kind of thing. So maybe your colleague can review, your manager can review first, and then it will be a product owner or business analyst will review. That's a reviews. Inspections means mainly checking the documents, anything missing in the document, just verification. That's inspections. Not to fix anything, just many people will be involved, all the team members will be involved here, and reader, recorder, and so who will conduct the meeting, that mediator, right? Moderator, we call that. All these persons will be involved, and the team members will be there, and they will make a note. Reader will read the documents. Recorder will record the meeting notes. At the end of the meeting, they will send the meeting of minutes. So what discussed, what action for each person, they will send a detailed mail. That's inspections. So then we have a black box testing, dynamic testing again, categorized into three types: black box testing, white box testing, gray box testing. So this is the crucial. So black box testing means what? And white box testing and gray box testing. These are all different types of dynamic testing techniques. So black box testing techniques means we have a again categorized into 5 types. One is equivalence class partitioning, boundary value analysis, decision table testing, state transition testing, error guessing. So these are the black box testing techniques. So white box testing techniques, we have a branch testing, statement coverage, decision coverage, branch path testing. These are the white box testing techniques. Gray box testing means the mix of these two is the gray box. So let's go and see what is meant by a black box testing. So black box testing also called functional testing. So it is mainly focuses on the external behavior of the application. External behavior means, so this one, okay, how it is working. So this is the external behavior. If I click on this, it will go to home page. That's a behavior. External behavior, where you are performing action on the UI and it is internally code will execute and page will change. That's the external behavior. When you do some action, whether the page status or element status is changing or not, you will check. That is called black box testing. See, from registration page, it came to home page. So the page changed. That's the action happened. Internally code executed and the page moved to other page. That is called black box testing. You will see. So the external behavior, how application is behaving, you can see that code. But code you cannot see. Internally code is executing and UI you are just so seeing that the behavior. So that is called this black box testing. Mainly focus on external behavior of the application, not based on the any internal design or code. Tests are based on requirements and functionality. So tests are based on requirements and functionality based only black box testing will be there. So example, simple example is, so you are testing a TV. So as a user, we watch the TV, but we don't need the knowledge of how TV is built, how it works. We don't bother about that. Whether TV is working or not, you will just check all, right? You are able to increase the volume or not, you are able to reduce the volume or not. Whether so remote is connected to TV or not, whether the picture is changing or not, whether you are able to change the channels or not. So a lot of features you can check whether they are working or not. That's the black box testing. You are not bothered about how it is built or what code they have written. It's not our job. That's a black box testers won't bother at all. You will just say, okay, TV is working. That's a black box test. Even in the applications, your main aim should be each link, each element is working properly or not. You will check as part of black box testing. So that is the black box testing is. What are the advantages of black box testing? Tester can be a non-technical. You don't need a well-educated all these things. No. If you're just good with the communication and the skills, and anybody can learn this testing, manual testing, or functional testing, or black box testing, we call that. So mainly what you will check, the contradictions, the customer specifications and application behavior, both you will check whether they are fulfilling the customer specifications or not, you will check. That's the main contradictions you will verify. So test cases can be designed once you get the functional requirements. So once you get the requirements, and immediately your next task is test case designing. So as I already mentioned in the testing process. Disadvantages of black box testing. So the disadvantages of black box testing is the test input needs to be taken from large sample space. So the disadvantage is preparing the test data is a challenging task, because you should know, okay, what data you need to prepare, how to prepare, the data is correct. And you have to gather, for example, zip code you want to test, US zip codes you want to test, different states. different states addresses you want. So then you need to gather all that test data. If you don't gather, it won't work properly. You cannot test the application properly. So that preparing the test data is a bigger task while designing the test cases. That's a one huge task for the tester, for manual tester. So it is difficult to identify all possible inputs in limited testing time. You have less time. With that, writing all the combination of test cases, a bit challenging task. So writing test cases is a bit slow and difficult task. Chances of having unidentified paths during this testing. So there are less chances of unidentified paths during this testing. So maybe there might be chances of missing some scenarios. So that is the this disadvantage of black box testing. So test data commonly include the following types: valid test data, invalid test data, boundary test data, wrong data, absent data. All these are different test data you will use. Okay. So valid test data means, so to verify any application, whether the application is performing as per the requirements, and you should give the proper data. Give the proper data and check it, whether it is behaving as per the customer expectation. Then that is valid data. So invalid data, the data is which is not correct at all. So the software correctly processes invalid values also, but it should display proper error messages. It will display proper error messages. That's an invalid test data. Boundary test data. So boundary test data means, so basically at the boundaries. So for example, you know your password length should be 1 to 15 characters. So 1 to 15 characters means 1 is the lowest boundary, 15 is the maximum boundary, right? The boundary outside, one boundary outside means empty data. 15 outside means maximum boundary. So it should not accept outside boundaries. Exact boundaries it should accept. Boundary inside it should accept. So that is the boundary conditions. When you give a boundary conditions, whether it is working or not. So absent data. Absent means you are not giving any data. And then you are trying to process. Then it should display a proper error message. Wrong data, completely data you are giving wrong. That time also it should validate. Your application should not break. It should tell, okay, you have provided invalid data, please provide valid data. So the meaningful message should display. So that is the wrong data and absent data for these things. So this is the different sets of data we are going to give it while testing the applications. Any questions? Okay, so that's the advantages. The black box testing techniques are equivalence class partitioning. So boundary value analysis. Let's see what is meant by equivalence class partitioning. So basically equivalence class partitioning and boundary value analysis you will use only when there is edit boxes like this. So edit boxes means this one, right? This is the edit box. And also you see in the registration page, you have many edit boxes. See, these are all edit boxes, right? What is the length of this edit box? We'll accept. Suppose 1 to 50 characters, suppose is there. So how many ways you can test that? How many, test data you can give? So basically for each piece of specification, you generate one or more equivalence classes. Suppose 1 to 50, if I give, the 1 to 50 equally you need to divide. How can you divide equally? How can you divide equal classes, the 1 to 50? Ayo. Anybody can tell this, right? How can you divide equally 1 to 50? How many ways you can divide? Each partition should have same set of data. How can you divide that? What happened?
Dividing by 10. Dividing with 10.
You should not divide equally partition.
Equal with 10. 1 to 10, 10 to 20, like that.
10 to 20 again it should not come.
11 to 20.
You count 10 to 20 means 11 it will come, right?
Yes.
Where is the equal classes? So 1 to 20 is the one equal class. So if you count 1 to 10, 10 will be there. 11 to 20, 10 will be there. 21 to 31, 31 to 40, 41 to 50, 51 to 60. So equal classes will be there. Or what is the other way? Equally you can divide 50. If you don't want these many classes, this is the one class, this is the another 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 class. One more?
26 to 50.
That's it. So 1 to 25, 26 to
50.
50. That's another two classes. So you when you can use that approach, when you can use this many classes, if you have a sufficient time, you want to test your input field with multiple sets of data, you can use this approach. You have a less time, you can go for the 1 to 25, 26 to 50, 50 to 75. So that with the three classes, you can test it. Otherwise, testing each character, it's not possible. It's a time waste. Now what I will do, I'll take 5 characters or whatever the character, 1 to 20, any count character you take. If that accepts by input field, then you can say this class is passed. Then same way you take 11 to 20, 15 characters or 17 or 19 characters. If it passes, if it accepts by the application, then 19 characters it is accepting. So all other characters you don't need to test. Same way 21 to 30. So let's take 27 characters. You don't need to test other characters. And then you can say this class also passed. Then 31 to 40, 33 characters you take. If 33 characters is accepted by system, and you don't need to test other characters, it will pass. Same way here also. Then 51 to 60, whether it should pass or no. What is the condition? Input box should accept only 50 characters. Then I'm entering 51 to 60. If you take 51 to 60 any characters, the input field should accept or no?
No.
As per this statement, you can tell, right? If I give 51 to 60 any characters, whether this input field will accept or no?
No.
It should not accept, right? See, this is the English statement. This is not, nothing wrong here. You can easily understand here. I'm saying 50 characters only this input field will accept. If I give 51 to 60 any characters, basically it should not accept. So that is the how you can test with the equivalence class partitioning your input range into equal classes. Then test in that range. If it works in one input data, you don't need to test all other input data. So that's the equivalence class partitioning means. Then boundary value analysis. Are you clear on this? Equivalence class partitioning?
Yes, sir.
Next, boundary value analysis. See, its meaning itself saying boundary. So testing the application input field, a text box or read box at the boundary values. At the boundary means inside exactly at the boundary conditions and outside the boundary conditions. So that is called boundary value analysis. See how to generate the test cases with a boundary value analysis. So you can generate a minimum value, minimum plus 1, minimum minus 1, maximum value, maximum plus 1, maximum minus 1. So these 6 values, allowing these 6 values, you can enter a special characters, you can enter, leave the field blank. All these are the test cases. So you have to tell leaving the field blank one test case and no entering the password in the so with the special characters it should not accept. So there is a combination of things will be there. Suppose a password accepts 6 to 12 characters. Now what is the minimum? So here what is the maximum here in this? What is the minimum value and what is the maximum
65.
value here? 6 is the minimum value.
Minimum,
And
maximum.
maximum value is at 12. Now apply these formulas and test with those characters. Now can you tell me out of this, which is the out of boundary? 6 out to and 12 out. What is the out of boundary here? What is the value of out of boundary? When you apply these formulas for this, so what is the out of boundary value?
After 12 characters.
Where are you guys? I don't understand. Minimum value I have given 6 here. This is the 6. Minimum plus 1 means how much?
7.
7. 7 comes where? Between the 6 and 12 only, right? That one. And 6 also at the boundary, exact boundary. Minimum minus 1. What is the minimum minus 1 means? 6 minus 1. Where is the 5?
Out of bound.
Out of inner bound, out of minimum value. That means this is the invalid value. And 7 is also inside. That means it's a valid value. 6 also exact boundary is a valid value. So 6 and 7 characters are valid values here. And 5 is invalid data. Now here, can you tell me what is the max value here? 12. Max
12.
plus 1 means 13. Max minus 1 is 11. So in out of this, which one is the invalid value? Which one is the valid values?
13 is invalid value, sir. 12 and 11 are valid.
12 and
is
11
the
are valid. So when you give a 12 characters, your password field should accept. 11 also if you give, it should accept. But 13 if you give, it should not accept. It's a so invalid password you provided. The message should display for you. So that is this is the boundary conditions, how you can, right? These are formulas, apply this. This is not complicated formulas, right? Why are you struggling? Only Nikita is telling. What about others? So easy formulas, these are all just addition or subtraction only, right? Okay. So these are the how to generate the more test cases. This is one example I have given. password field accepts 6 to 12 characters. How many test cases you will write? And conditions, all these are the conditions is given by your client. You will tell, okay, password length should be 6 to 12 characters only. Password should contain at least one uppercase letter. Password should contain at least one number, one special character. So if all these are not there, then that is invalid. And in these conditions also not there, this is the invalid password. If it is all these are meeting, that's a valid password. Okay, so based on that, you generate the test cases. How many ways you will write, how many ways you can write the test cases. This is how to write the test case. Verify entering invalid password less than 6 characters. That means 5 characters or 0 characters, whatever it is. It is covering whatever the data, one test case. So verify entering invalid password more than 12 characters. It's up to you. More than 12, any number you give, it's invalid. So that's another test case. See how I am writing test cases, please. So understand, verify leaving the password field blank. So verify entering invalid data in password field. So valid data in password. This is the valid test case. So verify entering only numbers, invalid test case. Verify entering only alphabets, invalid test case. Verify entering only special characters, invalid. Verify entering only alphanumerics. Alphanumerics means alphabets,
Numbers.
numbers. Verify entering alphabets and special characters. So alphabets and means A, B, C, D, those things. And special characters means these are the special characters. All these special characters and alphabets, if you enter, it should not accept. So verify entering numbers and special characters. Why it is invalid? Here you think one uppercase letter, one number, one special. These three must be there. And condition here. But here you are giving only numbers, special characters. So verify entering without uppercase letter in the password field. See that? You are entering alphabet, but without uppercase letter. Then this is not meeting, right? Your customer requirement is not meeting. That means this is the invalid test case. So this is how you will write the test cases for these conditions. Write test case for below requirement. See that? So this is the exercise for you all. For you all, you need to write and send it to me for this exercise. What is this? Your password length 6 to 12 characters. Must contain both upper and lower case characters. Must contain numeric special characters. Should not contain username or first name, last name. That means your password should not contain username. Your password should not contain first name. Your password should not contain last name. If it contains, what will happen? So write the test cases. Already few test cases I have given here. And remaining test case you write. Write and send it to me. How to write test cases? You should start with a verify like that. So write the test case and send it to me. Next. So you have to include all positive and negative. Always remember when you are writing test cases, you always consider positive and negative test cases. What is positive? Valid data. Negative means invalid data. Next, write the test cases for mobile number. So mobile number, how many numbers will be there? In the mobile number, how many numbers will be there?
10.
10, right? So you think, what are positive, what are negative test case? You think and write. Apply boundary value conditions and write. See, verify entering 10 numbers in the mobile number. Verify entering more than 10. Verify entering less than 10. Verify leaving number field blank. Then what other test case you can add for this? I have added high level, but you can add more. So add more. So and send it to me. This is also another task for you. So task 2, task 3, this is the exercise for you guys. Any questions here? Writing test case, any questions here? Tomorrow you should send these test cases, mandatory, everyone. Keep writing the test case, then only it is possible. Otherwise, it's a difficult to write the test cases. That's one of the bigger problem everybody faces. Test case writing.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So let's join back and we'll discuss next one about decision table testing. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.